Scotty, beam me up.
Oh. Smash.
Get over here!
It is pointless to resist.
Roll.
Yeah. Got it.
We get it.
Okay. We're back to what brought us, boys. The core four. Here we go.
Lonely. We're so lonely.
Yeah, no, right? We were supposed to have Lee Pierce here with us, but he's got some stuff going on. We respect his privacy, let him do what he's got to do.
Absolutely.
Hopefully one day we'll
100%.
have him here.
We are rooting
Matt
for
can
him.
finally eat his clam chowder icicle.
I will.
So
I love
we're
clam
gonna
chowder,
kinda,
but
yeah, me too. But eating it cold is gross enough. I don't. It's gotta be
it's
hot.
got piping hot with
Yeah.
oyster crackers.
And a little bit of cheese. A little cheese never hurts.
Yeah, a little cheese never hurt.
Just a little
True.
Asiago on top, you're good.
True.
But okay, so we're gonna stick to our format though that we had going into it. We're trying to get a little more organized here because, yeah, we're a bunch of stoners and we forget. We's the Jews.
Within the juice. No, we's in the juice.
Kashmir Rajneesh, why don't you guys just chill?
That's from Son-in-Law
Son-in-law. Yep.
Yeah.
with the kid from Sandlot.
That's what? Yeah. Yeah.
Patrick
fucking
Renna.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Patrick
Yeah.
Renna,
Yeah.
I always call him the kid from the Big Green. Because
Yeah.
I saw that a lot more
Zombies.
when I was growing up.
That was just the Mighty Ducks with soccer.
That's where I know him from.
Did I?
Really haired ginger.
Did I say
That
something?
wimpy deer.
No, you're good.
Kind of glitchy on my end. Yeah. My internet.
Yep.
being
Nope.
dumb.
You're good.
But anyway, yeah, Patrick Renna. He was the little brother and son-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
And what was it? He tried to milk the cow, but he was sitting behind it, so it pissed on his head.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. He grabbed the wrong
Pauly
hand.
Shore. He go, oops, wrong button.
I think my favorite line from that movie is Becca, look, Steven Tyler PJs. Steven Tyler PJs. Oh, it's okay. Look, I got the
How
program
do you
platter.
please a hungry man? Sing it, Rebecca.
Are you original or extra crispy?
Oh man.
But you gotta go back to where it all started with Encino, man. Like, what a classic.
Yep.
So many great lines in that movie.
It's funny. Somebody always, in every single one of his movies, in English, someone says, "This is what you have to do." And it never happens. And then he says it in Weasel. And it just magically
Right.
happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, we can't forget a Goofy movie. Leaning
yeah,
Tower of
Ain't-
Cheese.
Yes.
Oh God,
That's
yes.
exactly what I was gonna say. Yep.
Oh yeah, with
So
the
I say that one a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. You ever try to do that yourself?
we don't have spray
No.
can cheese here.
Oh no.
No,
I'm
My
sorry.
God.
all my American connections have failed me to this point.
Oh.
Apparently,
sucks.
mailing
wait, that's us.
aerosol
I mean,
is not safe. Don't send
I mean-
compressed gas in the mail. They said.
Don't keep it in the cargo hold. Hold it up with the passengers like a fucking humane person.
Don't tell me how to drive the school bus, Karen.
Choo choo. You don't know me.
Yeah, no, I grew up on Pauly Shore. He was like the epitome of childhood. He really was.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I think I was the perfect age, and he was like the perfect humor for me as a person. You know what I mean? It was like I moved on from Pee Wee Herman to Beavis and Butthead and Pauly Shore.
Yeah,
So I
dude.
went,
And they weren't the same. They scratched each of them scratched their own itch. Beavis
Yeah.
and Butthead was mind-numbingly inappropriate dick and fart all the way. And Pauly Shore was like PG word and sound humor. Like he was very shtick. I'm not even saying it to put him down. It caught on. The
It was
weasel
very
was in
clean.
everything.
Clean, but a stoner.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he didn't get it for free either. I think that was a big thing that kept a lot of people away from him, is they thought that, oh, he latched onto this weasel character and fucking ran with it. That's not how it went at all.
Yeah.
And not only that, he took a lot of shit before any of that, just because of who his mom was.
Yeah, because of the reputation of the Comedy Store and how they treated comedians and everything like that.
Well, and she shut him down all the time.
Yeah.
You're not funny. You're not funny.
Yep. She didn't want him to be a comedian.
Mhm.
She genuinely didn't think he was funny.
And I like him. I even still.
I fucking
Absolutely.
love Pauly Shore. I still
Most
love
of that
Pauly
ages so well.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Four-wheeling over the ferns.
Oh man.
Twizzlers, Doritos, ketchup.
Yeah, what was that show he did? That sitcom. Was it a sitcom or did he just have...
He did a sitcom?
It was like, what is a primetime show or some shit that he did?
Yeah, I
back in the
remember him
early
doing
90s.
a show. I just don't remember the name of it.
And something like a party with Pauly or some shit like
Something like that.
Maybe.
I want to see
Pauly
like
Shore.
Pauly Shore and Pauly D.
I'm calling you out, Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
I am
I know you're watching.
Share this to your
Yeah,
fucking Instagram.
Yeah, come on, you son of a.
He's a big
You
fan
need
of the
to-
show, so he's clearly watching.
Yeah,
Pauly, we love you.
clearly.
Pauly, we're all huge fans.
He's one of our millions of viewers.
Yes, exactly.
We would love to talk to you and figure out what the name of that fucking show was. So please, Mr. Shore, come talk to us.
Weasel, if you're watching, come on.
He is watching, Joe. Have faith. Yeah.
Cool goatee buddy.
Check out my cat. And kudos to Brendan Fraser in that movie too. That was.
Oh yeah.
I think he did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
Because
he
it's
did.
fucking hilarious. He barely had any lines, but he didn't need them.
Yeah.
Always been a big fan of his too.
And
Yeah.
It's like a Vin Diesel as Groot role. Like,
Right.
just
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And since we're talking Pauly Shore, let me just share this guy real quick
Yes, please.
as a reminder. Hold on, let me pull him up. Why ain't you working here? Hold on.
Oh, come on now.
Come on, you son of a. DIY for life, ladies and gentlemen. DIY, DIY for life.
100%. Speaking of DIY, cheap plug. Old Farmhouse Eatery and Brewery, Belmont, Pennsylvania. Cheers.
Not a sponsor, but James just really likes their product.
Yeah, and
Boom.
I kind of work there.
Yeah.
Pauly
Pauly
Rubin.
Rubin!
Pauly Rubens.
Well done.
As I was saying, the perfect mixture
Yeah.
of growing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's 1991 in one picture.
Exactly.
It really is.
It truly is. Like,
Well,
even though that meme is pretty fresh, like
Yeah.
you recently made that.
Yeah.
That picture is 30 years old.
Oh hell yeah!
Well,
Absolutely.
that's where it takes me.
I wanted to find like pictures from the same era that they would have been in that time, and yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Fuck man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Encino Man definitely a classic. A lot of great lines. The fucking when they're in the convenience store and Pauly Shore's going through the food groups.
Oh yeah! Oh god!
I do that shit all the fucking time, and it drives my wife insane.
Yeah. I
Please,
was
Tarts, you hide these under your pillows so your mom doesn't find them, okay, buddy?
was always a big fan of Biodome too.
Yep.
I think between Encino Man and Biodome, I think those are my two favorites. Even though I love it in the Army
Son-in-Law.
now.
Yes, it's the army
Son-in-law.
now.
Son-in-Law is tied with Encino Man as my favorite Pauly Shore movie.
No.
For
I've seen
me,
Son-in-Law a lot. it has a
yeah,
special place for me.
Yeah, I've seen that Son-in-Law a lot. Maybe that's why it's not in like the top two, but
maybe.
I've seen Son-in-Law.
It's still
a
one of
lot.
my favorite. It's still
Yeah,
one of my favorite
absolutely.
movies of all time. Let alone
Absolutely.
Pauly
I don't
Shore.
have like one I don't like. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even his shitty ones are great.
Yeah, like Pauly Shore is dead. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? I was like, but I love
For fuck's sake.
Or Jury Duty.
Jury Duty.
Jury Duty.
So good.
Such an underrated movie.
Absolutely.
It's the juice. Run, OJ, run.
In the Army now. I think that's another one of my favorites.
Man, yeah. John Jacob
Wilheimer Smith. My name too.
Shut up!
Who did this to you,
flying
recruit?
south, and I'm trying to bury my beak. Now shut up.
Because who doesn't sign up for the Army to be like in the water renewal department?
Right?
It's all because of my cousin, the pool guy.
It was his brother.
The pool guy.
Oh, it's all because of my brother, the pool guy. We're the few. We're the proud. We're the
water boys. Actually, you're not my first sergeant. I've had like 3.
And if you mess up again, I'm gonna tear off your head and poop down your throat or whatever you said.
How good is Art LaFleur in that movie as his sergeant over in Chad? Underrated as fuck.
Yeah.
One of the few times I can stand Andy Dick as an actor.
Yeah, that's true.
He was funny in that movie.
Yeah,
There's only 2 roles that he's ever had that I actually laughed that I ever laughed at, and it's in the Army now as Jack, and then when he's the guy in the cage and Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I said Brown.
Or when he's the
right.
the concierge at the hotel in Road Trip.
Yeah, that was.
Do I look like a drug dealer?
Good little bit part.
I think maybe that's why him and Tom Green are such good friends, because they fall into the same category
They have
to
the
me.
same sense of humor.
Yeah, and
Tom
I don't.
Green isn't on drugs though.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
With Andy Dick, he's got a problem, but Tom Green's totally sober.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Green's
always
just
has
off
been,
the
too.
fucking wall naturally, and I like that about him.
Yeah.
Fantastic. There's a town east of here called St. Paul, and I don't know why they did it, but they made an alien landing pad in town, like a UFO landing pad, and it's exactly what you'd think it would look like. It is the dumbest thing.
Aliens, come here.
But Tom Green went to St. Paul and dressed up like an alien and went on the mayor's front lawn with a boombox playing space noises rang the doorbell, and the mayor came out and everything. He's like, I used your landing pad, and now I'm here. Realized we went
Tom
off the
Green.
path there, but I just that came to me.
No, because that raps in the
no, that's
the
fucking
MTV,
hilarious.
and that just reminds me again of Beavis and Butthead. Like those are just the glory days of MTV for me. Like even though Tom Green was in like the dying days, still like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
those were the
Well, and
glory
he-
days of MTV.
I mean, a lot of people get credit for a lot of things, but you really got to say he was the first podcaster.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he was doing that
Yeah.
from his house with homemade internet the whole time,
yeah,
and then
It
made
was
himself big
amazing.
on Canadian access.
yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of like the first podcaster and the real life Wayne's World rolled into one.
Yeah.
Because that set was in
Yeah,
his basement
I won't
for
argue.
a long time.
I see.
Yeah, he did that.
I'm learning this for the first time. I always thought like when I saw clips from Tom Green show, like back in the day when it was on MTV, I thought that was a studio.
Oh,
By the
that
I
time
mean,
was-
in like
Yeah,
Burbank or
yeah,
something,
but
you know,
before,
or Los
yeah.
Angeles.
by the time he got to MTV, yeah, they had gotten him a studio and shit for MTV. But before that, he was on Canadian Access Television, and before that, it was like a internet web series, right?
yeah, but he broadcast on TV.
Yeah.
And the thing is as far as I know, they used a lot of the same. They just took the footage, right?
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah.
he didn't just do it again. Because some of
No.
that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Like
He just
finding
talked about
GoPro
it.
just to hump it. Who does that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I don't do that. That's gross. You get diseases that way.
That blows my mind, man. I think you're right. Like that, he could be like the first podcaster. Like that's not as far fetched as it sounds.
When he
Yeah.
he
No,
described his setup the same way that Joe did for Quake, Joe Rogan, I mean,
Yeah.
where they were running cables they had to
Yeah.
do it all themselves, and they had to pay a ridiculous amount of money because at the time to get your own DSL hub or what, I don't remember what they call it, it was like thousands of dollars.
Jesus.
Joe said it was ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, he talks about it on when he's on Joe Rogan's podcast,
Yeah.
and he tells you it looked like fucking those. You know how when they do underground cabling,
Yep.
and you just see these big ropes of wire all
Mhm.
bundled together and they're just buried underground. That's what it looked like running through his fucking house.
Yeah.
He has pictures
Jeez
and shit
Louise.
of it and like videos of when he'll give a tour and shit on there. You can find it shit on
He
YouTube.
did all his own
Yeah.
setups, and it's not like it was ghetto. Like they had legit
no.
soundboards, lighting boards, all that stuff. But it was all he did it all himself. They didn't like I don't remember the channel. It was a big one, like Toronto Access or whatever the hell it was on. They did a lot of stuff like that. It wasn't
Yeah.
just they made a lot of people pretty big up here.
Mhm.
Because in Canada, the big thing is having Canadian content, and the more people you just let on TV, the more likely you are to reach that. Because there's a law about it.
Yeah.
That's why people even like the Tragically Hip. Hot take, sorry.
No arguments from me, dude.
Well, no, they'll kick me out of the country. That's like you don't like the Tragically Hip? Get out.
See you guys standing behind Matt with like a billy club. What'd you say?
If you said you don't like George Washington or apple pie or fireworks right now in the United States, the same thing would happen to you that would happen here if you said, I don't like the Tragically Hip.
Not necessarily.
Or then pick something more American than those three things.
Okay. Apple pie, George Washington, and what was the third one?
Fireworks.
Fireworks.
Liberty.
Okay.
Revolution. I don't care. Pick one.
I don't like revolution necessarily, but it is necessary.
That's not a hot take. I agree.
Hey man, you asked, pick one, so I did.
But it's even more important than hockey. Like
Right.
if you don't like hockey, there's lots of people here that don't like hockey.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
don't
Yeah,
like
good.
Tragically Hip. I'm like the one of 4 other. We have a club. There's 4 of us.
Our club has been bombed 6 times.
And I think I made up the other 3. So
I can dig it.
Right.
Yeah.
I was telling you, I started a story earlier about Beavis and Butthead to circle back because I keep dragging us off. I'm the worst. But when I was 16 and I had my first summer job, my dad let me stay in Edmonton by myself for the first time. I was with a friend, and to provide context, because we didn't get much music every day, weirdly, I could watch Beavis and Butthead once every 6 weeks. And more often than not, it was a rerun. I didn't watch a lot of different episodes. And so I come to Edmonton, and my friend has the Great Cornholio on cassette. And it wasn't even the first episode. I don't remember exactly what the first episode was, but it was one I hadn't seen before. And it might be the worst one of all time, but it was the best because it was brand new. And then Cornholio came on, and I almost stopped breathing because it was absolutely brilliant. He just gets hopped up on caffeine and sugar. The shirt goes over his head, and he just walks around mumbling nonsense. And then, I need to
shall feel the wrath of my bunghole.
I need no hall pass. I need to pee from my bunghole. And it was maybe 4 minutes throughout the whole episode of that kind of dialogue, but I couldn't stop laughing. And we watched it over. I probably watched it 85 times over 4 days. Because that's all we did when we weren't shopping. That was the reason I came. It was to shop. And
Yeah.
Put not shopping to the last day because we sat at home drinking and watching Beavis and Butthead through the first 3 days of the visit.
Amazing. I
Yeah,
love
that
stories
show
like
was that show was life changing for me. I think I was only like 9 years old when it came out, but like, man, it hit. I understood everything because, like, I wasn't really sheltered. I knew what all that stuff they were joking about meant, and it was just comedy gold to me. Like you said, like brilliance.
And they didn't know. That's the funny part. They had no idea about anything.
Yeah,
except music.
Yeah.
And even that, like, I mean, depends what you're into, right? Like,
yeah.
Stuart was into Winger, and they had the
Winger.
So, like almost everything else we talk about on this show, I'm much younger than you guys, so I was really young when Beavis and Butthead started. Same with Pauly Shore's career, like his mega stardom.
Yeah.
So I was like 3 when Encino Man came out and when Beavis and Butthead took off.
Yeah.
But my sister watched all that shit.
Nice.
So I watched all that shit.
Yes,
Yep.
you did.
Yes,
you
I
did.
watched it to keep up with my older friends a lot too. Like, you know what I mean? Because like the
I
only
didn't-
friends I had were like 3 years older than me, but they were here every day. Like they were basically like brothers because they lived here
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And that's all we
I
did was
didn't
watch
even
that.
care about that. It was just I wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was funny to me. and
Yeah.
I just wanted to check it out. And
Yeah.
like the funny thing is, my mom loves Pauly Shore too. She'll laugh at his shit.
Nice.
Like she would watch that shit with us.
Yeah.
But she hates Beavis and Butthead.
Most kids did, I'm sure.
We were actually banned from watching Beavis and Butthead. But when I was 9 years old, my mom had a third shift job. Guess what time Beavis and Butthead came on? And it was reruns after midnight. And it was usually a couple hour block.
Yep.
And
Yep. Yep.
Fucking that.
I hear you completely, Greasy, and I got something similar. Like we've talked about it, like in one of our earlier episodes of this
Yeah.
show. My dad was like vehemently against Beavis and Butthead, but it was okay for me to watch Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what
Right.
the fuck? Whatever. Okay, I'll take what I can get, I guess. But where I lived in Idaho, if as long as my dad was on the road, my mom didn't give a fuck what I watched. As long as it wasn't like she really didn't care. You know what? Let me amend that. She didn't really care. So every once in a while, the stars would align, and I could watch Beavis and Butthead, and then flip over to Nickelodeon and watch Ren and Stimpy, and then around midnight watch Tales from the Crypt. So I got my I got my stories in one go.
Right.
With channel surfing in between, you know.
That's
So
how I managed.
it worked. Yeah, it worked out. So it was like, yes,
Saturday
and
nights.
I think that, yes, dude. Like
I would go from
Saturday
Snick.
night.
Yep, I would go from Snick to Tales from the Crypt without anybody
Are
even
you
knowing.
afraid of the dark,
Yep.
dude?
The one thing I could get away with
Absolutely.
routinely was Saturday Night Superstars of wrestling.
Oh yeah.
That was
Oh,
one thing
yeah.
I got
Yep.
every Saturday. But the cartoons, I like. You bring up Ren and Stimpy. The funny thing about that is where I like it. They didn't show it. We don't have MTV up here. It's called Much Music.
Mhm.
Yep.
And they didn't show it on that channel right away, which is really funny because John Kripaluzzi is Canadian.
Right.
But they didn't show it at first, and then they started showing it. And between that and Beavis and Butthead, the funny thing was my parents' reaction to both. My dad hated Beavis and Butthead, and he never banned us from watching anything, which is probably the coolest part of my childhood. Is my parents never censored anything, and it was an opportunity for us to ask. Like they were the best for that. But regardless, he fucking hated Beavis and Butthead. Just he would be like mean about us watching it, but. He fucking dug Ren and Stimpy, Powdered Toast Man, Canadian Kilted Jackson, all that shit. Totally down with Ren and Stimpy. And there was boogers and farts and rubber nippled walrus heads and shit like that.
Yes.
Never had a problem with it. But Beavis and Butthead, it was a violent hatred.
You want to know who killed the dinosaurs?
But if
I did it.
Could watch it with the volume down low enough when they were sleeping and not wake them up. We woke them up, it was hell to pay. But if we could let them keep sleeping, we could probably have watched anything.
Yeah.
And they knew it as long as we weren't being assholes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a different time. Like our parents kind of knew we were experimenting. Now parents are like afraid of that whole scenario. Like we don't really want to let kids go past that era, you know, where they start like experiencing things on their own. You know,
I don't want
we
to,
had that privilege, and we're kind of like taking it away.
Right.
Yeah. And it seems to me like cartoons nowadays aren't like edgy or dangerous like they used to be.
No.
You know, like it's
Nothing
fucking
scary anymore. Like
well, to be subversive now, you're going to be walking a line, right? Like,
yes, you are.
You're going to be saying some things that are. I mean, now
you won't stand a chance.
Nobody
They will
cares about
shut you down
bodily
right away because people have got the power of social media now. They can do everything they've always wanted to do.
Pushes it
I'll
all.
take
Absolutely.
one tweet and you're fucked.
Instead of meeting on a street corner, they could have millions meet on a petition.
Yes.
You know.
Uh-huh.
And that gets shit done.
Yep. It does. It has its uses, both good and
Positive.
bad.
There's
Yep.
Yeah.
Some people use that for evil, I'm sure.
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah, dude.
Although there
But
are
not Beavis and Butthead.
no, not at all. There are some cartoons these days though that do have their place.
Lots. There's still some good stuff, but
They do,
I think
yeah.
what Joe means is when there was subversive, right? Like the Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Buttheads. They weren't that far past 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
They were late night, and they were out in the open, and they were talking about boogers and poops and some real crazy shit. And now,
well,
to be crazy, you have to say it's not body stuff anymore. Nobody cares about that. Everyone's pretty comfortable with themselves. What they're not comfortable with is race stuff and speech stuff and Then you're saying stuff that are it either triggers or attacks, and who's watching that cartoon? It's not on long.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch it, but there's
It's
no
like-
way it stays on TV.
Yeah, it's like our grand finale to all of that was Family Guy, and that got like repetitive after a while.
Yeah.
It's starting to get stale.
But I mean, I'll tell you what, I never watched The Simpsons to present, but I'm caught right up on Family Guy. I've seen every episode of Family Guy ever made.
I'm same with The Simpsons. New
I
episodes.
should be, because it's the better show. I love
Yeah.
Family Guy to bits, but we got to be honest, right? Everybody does something first, and it's Simpsons all day.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Simpsons
Time and
did
time
it.
and time again.
Simpsons did it.
But they all
Yeah.
have their place. Like I like that there's that rivalry between those 3 or 4 shows that are the apex of primetime. Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park, all that stuff. It's I love it. That makes them do their best after 30 seasons.
Yeah.
Or they try.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's crazy that show is older than me.
Yeah, I still remember the very first episode. I can remember every moment of
it's on Disney
watching the
Plus
first
now, and I
episode.
just watched it.
I watch it every day. I try to watch at least one
Simpsons
episode.
is 1 year older than me.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane to me.
Yeah.
Did you notice
34 years old?
the date of airing, James?
Yeah.
Did you see
87.
I'm certain that the first time they showed it on Fox was January 14th, 1989.
89. Yeah.
It was okay, then I'm older than the Simpsons, but I was
Yeah. Yeah. They premiered 89.
because I was
And that-
born in '88.
Yeah.
January 14th is my birthday.
And when we come back from break, I got something cool to show you since we're talking Simpsons.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's a great thing to bring up right now, because I've got to go convince somebody to do something they're not going to want to do.
Okay.
Aha, it's
Let's
bedtime
go
for
take a
the
break.
It's
child.
bedtime.
Bedtime.
We'll be
All
right
right,
back.
boys.
All day, you gotta do what they say. But lunchtime is all yours. That's why there's Lunchables Pizza from Oscar Mayer. Make your own 3 real pizza crusts, sauce, all the toppings. No need to heat it, no matter how you eat it. Lunchables brand pizza from Oscar Mayer. Your pizza has arrived.
Chips Ahoy! Chips Ahoy! 1,000 chips delicious! Nabisco!
I don't know. You guys might have. Thanks, Craig. Shit.
Hey, Matt, you good?
Welcome back.
Back to the Geek Den, everybody.
That's okay.
That was like the end of The Sopranos. You just totally cut Matt off.
I thought he was going to continue talking.
Hey, Craig. Could I have a second? I'm looking for something. Yeah, sure, Matt. Recording started. I digress.
Did you find it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit.
All
Well,
right.
I couldn't find it. I'm a human failure. It's not great. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about Loki anyway.
Hey,
Right.
No, it doesn't.
hey, but before we do, since we were talking about The Simpsons,
Oh, right.
what I've got.
Dun, 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 dun,
It's a
dun,
full
dun,
guide
dun,
from
dun,
like
dun.
seasons 1 through 10. Look at how thick that fucker is.
Fucking
Look at that.
crazy.
Has side notes and everything.
In all its Springfield glory.
Yeah. Each
Love it.
episode, like details, everything.
Page smells like a tire fire.
Yeah.
Or an overcooked 3-eyed fish.
It came with a coupon, the Krusty Burger.
That's right.
buy 3 get none free.
You got to go to the oil rig though.
That's right.
Give me 300 crusty burgers.
Off the Valley off the coast of Ecuador.
Oh man.
There was a joke in The Simpsons about like, I'm so hungry I could eat Arby's. Whoa, you
Oh,
must be really
wow.
hungry. Or something like that.
All right,
I'm
so Loki.
butchering it. Yes,
Yeah,
Loki,
Alligator
gentlemen.
boy.
Glorious purpose.
Come see the
so
alligator boy.
my first thing with Loki, I have to bring this up.
Please do.
Have you ever noticed that with Tom Hiddleston as Loki and Sylvie, and I think the young kid Loki, they all have like the really cool looking ornate crown, right?
Mm.
Mhm.
Really polished. But the other Lokis who have like the horns and shit look like if you got them off Wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like what? It just looks like a cheap knockoff of the horn helmet. Like it's.
Oh, I think what some of that is, not all of it, I can't explain all of them, but there were a ton of different incarnations of Loki. And the earlier ones, he looked tacky, like the old
Oh God, yes.
yellow and green, the really obnoxious horns. And he evolved quite a bit. And I
Yeah.
think this is a stab in the dark that the young one and the violent one were different timeline versions of him too. But I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah.
Man.
Kid Loki's Nexus event that caught the TBA's attention was he killed Thor.
Mm.
That's why he
Wow.
wound up in the void. And Richard E. Grant's classic Loki, which, by the way, how awesome is that costume? That is a comic accurate Jack Kirby-esque costume. Marvel, can you do any wrong? I think not. Well, unless you're asking the mage about Infinity Stones in a gauntlet. But I
Or opening
digress.
boxes.
Oh my. Teasing. But.
Well, both of those are fair points. I can't deny that.
No.
But how? Okay, we were just talking about like their helmets and stuff. Is that one of them you were talking about, James? Was classic Loki's?
Yeah. How it's just like it looks like a yarmulke with horns on it, pretty much.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of different headgear with the horns. Like when he was climbing out, and there was all of them standing around, and there was the one that he played in the middle. He had those horns in the comic too. There's a very different helmet, and they all I remember seeing every single one of them in one version or another.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they really, like Joe said, they nailed most of them.
So it's just a throwback to the old comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's when Jack Kirby and when Jack and Stan created Thor and Loki in the original Journey into Mystery series. I believe Thor was 84 in issue 84, and I think Loki was either 85 or 87 when they made their first appearances in Marvel Comics.
Wow.
But yeah, Journey into Mystery, also the name of the episode, but originally was a horror anthology that Marvel produced. And I think back then they were Atlas Comics.
Huh.
That's cool.
Yeah, but then
yeah, I never heard about that.
Yeah, and I think around the time when Jack and Stan started Journey to Mystery, it was I believe when EC was killing it with Tales from the Crypt and the Vault of Horror and the Haunt of Fear and so on and so forth.
EC was just killing it in general.
Oh my God!
Someone compared Danzig movies, like his movie he did to like EC Comics. The fuck is wrong with people?
No shit. I've never even seen Danzig's movie, and I can tell you 50 things wrong with
it's
that.
so bad. Oh man, it is bad.
Is it anything like D. Snyder's? What was that movie?
Strangeland?
Strangeland was good.
I
liked it.
love Strangeland.
Yeah, I like Strangeland
I
a
always
lot.
saw it on the rack at the video store and never rented it because
Oh
on
no,
the
dude,
cover
it's good.
was a chick with her mouth sewed shut.
Yeah,
and
it's a really
It
good
makes
movie.
sense. It makes
I'm like,
sense.
what?
Yeah, he becomes like.
You gotta watch it.
I won't give you any spoilers, but no,
All
it's a
right,
good
yeah,
watch.
Is it on
This-
Tubi or something?
It might
Maybe.
be.
Okay, I'm gonna check. I can check Prime too.
It's possible.
Yeah, it might be.
But
But no,
anyway,
it was
back to
nothing like
Loki.
that. It was like the
Yeah,
old
sure.
Argento movies, but he did it completely
Yeah.
wrong. Like he was terrible at it. You should
Yeah.
just stick to giant pumpkins and 15-foot high stages, Danzig.
I know you're watching.
Yeah.
Don't beat me up. I'm a hemophiliac.
Loyal fan of Geek and Mr. Glenn Danzig. We appreciate your viewership, sir.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Episode 25. Surly gets knocked out by Danzig.
I think you're okay.
Yeah, I think I'm
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
then episode 26, Surly beats Danzig's ass.
Twice.
Twice.
In
Before he
5
hits the
seconds.
ground.
Just
In
to
5
make
seconds.
sure he didn't forget, because
Geek, yeah.
we don't need that.
Geeked in, episode 26, Revenge of the Surly.
Revenge of the
Pennsylvania
Smurf.
Thunderdome with
Revenge of the Smurf, thank you. That's even better. Yes. Kudos, Greasy. Kudos. I love it.
I think I see a mashup in the future.
Oh,
I think so.
God. Yeah.
Whoa.
Mhm.
I think I just thought of a mashup.
Oh. Don't put it on the air.
Nope.
Don't work it
I'm
out.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna
Write
try
it down.
to do it.
Write it
Yes.
down. You'll forget by the end. Write it
Don't
down
forget
now.
by the end.
Yeah.
Don't wait until the watch back to remind yourself.
That's right.
But anyways, back to
Down
Loki.
there.
Like
Yes,
Yeah,
back-
that is
Loki.
one Marvel thing that I can get into because I am not I like X-Men, but I'm not really a Marvel fan. I was always more DC and EC and fun
Well,
comics.
The thing with the MCU is they didn't. The idea wasn't to try and be honest to any source material at all. They didn't. There's no
It was just-
pretense of that at any point.
Full creative rights.
Yep.
Like,
They just took the heroes and gave them the powers their way. I mean, they kept some of it. It wasn't
Yeah.
terrible. It's just without complaining about the Infinity Gauntlet again, it was a great story the way it was. That was my problem, and that story meant a lot to me personally. But it was not a bad movie. It just not my deal.
Yeah,
understandable.
they were banking a lot on that first Iron Man movie. They were betting the farm on it pretty much because
They
it was
were.
do or die with Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
And
But Iron
luckily,
It was so good.
Yep.
oh
Great.
god, it's so good. Anybody see that What If trailer
Yes.
with the I'm not quite Scanner Darkly animation?
Yeah, the animated series. Yeah.
Do you remember that comic series, Joe?
Shit, who wrote that? Was it? It's not Alan Moore. Wait, Scanner Darkly, isn't that based on a Philip K. Dick novel?
What's
I want
that?
to say it is. A Scanner Darkly, yeah. I think that's a Philip K. Dick story, if memory serves me correct. But I dug the animation in that movie. It's just like this, but the animation in this What If series, like, it's the House of Mouse, and you'd think like that would have been one of the animation styles they considered. But maybe I'm just nitpicking. But it looks cool.
I like the way it looks.
There's some really good stories. It was what I was going to get at, is the what if stories from the old comics. Even anything that could come up in the new stuff. Let's be honest, it's whatever the limits in an imagination.
Yeah.
What if Doctor Strange didn't get in the accident? What if? There's a million.
What if Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if Captain America hadn't retired or something? I have a couple of What If comics in my vault. I gotta dig them out sometime.
The what if one I had is what if the Hulk and Wolverine fought, and I don't remember what the what if outcome was like. Because do you remember what happened when they actually fought?
Yeah, Wolverine walked away.
No, Hulk ripped him in half, and it took him 3 months to crawl to his legs.
Holy shit.
And he never fought the Hulk ever again.
Damn.
reasonable.
And so
Brutal.
the what if was, what if he had just died?
Okay. All right.
And that's a good one. I've only opened it one time. I went and bought that just to collect it.
Yeah, I really should fucking like get the Comixology app and just pay the, so I could catch up on my comics and stuff, because it's such a drive to PC, but whatever.
I didn't know.
I have. Oh yeah, it's Comixology. It's you pay like a monthly subscription and you can read any comic book, Marvel, DC, Image, whatever. And they have their entire back catalogs, and you read the new issues of stuff that's coming out. Like you could be reading up on Jonathan Hickman's X-Men. You could be reading up on Johnny Cage's Venom, or J.M. DeMatteis's Justice League.
Snap. All right, more on that later.
Right?
Just blew my mind. I'm kind of scared.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back to Loki. Like a running gag with Matt with Loki is how it took the entire MCU and flipped it on its ear.
Yep, I love it.
Yeah, I don't have to understand anything about the MCU to enjoy it.
Not anymore.
No, you don't. And that's what I told the wife, because I was like, I don't care to watch this again.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fantastic show. I was like, any of the MCU shows, I'll watch them again with you. I'm totally down, because we're always looking for shit to watch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just jump from show to show. Doesn't matter if it's old, new, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great because like it just pretty much says the entire first part of the MCU all the way up to Infinity War was fuck this.
Yeah.
Meant jack shit.
Well, forgone. There was no there.
Yeah.
That's the way it was going to go.
Yeah.
But what I'm interested to see, and there's no spoiler at this point because of course there's something to resolve before the end of the season. But I'm interested to see who is behind this in this particular universe, because there aren't a lot of beings that have that ability in the comic book universe.
Who is the Angry Cloud?
Could be, but I mean, what they did with Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 tells me that it's going to be a big guy, like a real big. One of the Titans that abstained during the Infinity Crisis in the comic run.
Mm.
A lot of signs.
I can't wait to see it. Honestly,
a lot of signs are pointing towards Kang the Conqueror, because they're dropping a lot of breadcrumbs and clues.
Yeah.
Like you saw the Sphinx. You see the Sphinx and the pyramids in the void where they're at.
That's
and
true.
Kang collected those, and they are in his little city of Chronopolis in the comics. Alioth is a straight out of a Kang story. The cloud monster.
I think I didn't even think of that. Not once.
And at the beginning of the episode, when they, when it's going in on the one timekeeper's dismembered head, and then it goes through the void, like you're going through that ruined cityscape. On the right hand side is Avengers Tower, but it doesn't say Stark on it. It says QENG, which is a shell company that some guy created, and it was actually masquerading as Kang the Conqueror in the comics. Yeah, so
right.
The clues are there, but I honestly feel like it would defeat this. It wouldn't mean anything to the average viewer. Us comic nerds be like, Kang the Conqueror was behind it the whole time. Hell yes. But average viewer be like, who's Kang? That's why I'm thinking it's not going to be him. They put all that shit there to make you think it's that. Kind of like with WandaVision. Yes, misdirection. Like with WandaVision, you think it's Mephisto. No, it was Agatha all along.
And Agatha was not. You're right. Like that, they went weak twice already. So because the villain in Winter Soldier and Falcon in the Winter Soldier.
Sharon Carter's the power.
U.S. agent thing didn't bug me one bit. Like I really wish they would have beat the crap out of him and taken him out entirely. Like that's a character not even worth bringing back ever.
Yes, I will agree with that to an extent, but like John Walker has some interesting runs in the comics. Like,
100%, Joe. But this guy killed it. Like he did not do well.
Oh, killed it as in like you weren't impressed?
Garbage, total garbage.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's what it was. His point was to make himself hateable, and in that case, 100% success.
Oh yeah.
Because I do not like him. Gross.
Yeah. That's ego. Well, Kurt Russell's kid.
Yep.
But in Loki, I do hope if it's not Kang, then I hope it's a villain worthy of villainhood. Is my point. Like a Mephisto would be amazing. I mean, Loki's a god, and he had some. It wasn't just Thor that he was fighting with all the time. He had some epic showdowns with everybody.
Oh yeah.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Hulk ragdolling his ass. Puny god.
Joe, you'll also remember it's not just those two, but a lot of wicked specific issues were Spider-Man versus Daredevil, the Hulk versus Wolverine, Spider-Man, the Punisher versus Spider-Man. Like there was some hero on hero stuff because of all the vigilantism, and they were some brilliant stories.
Mm-hmm.
And the scraps too. I mean, they were just good to watch, like to go through in the comic book, and you watch like Hulk throw somebody halfway across the planet, and then jump on him and crater him 50 feet. It's amazing, and you could do some pretty excellent Netflix stuff, especially with the Hulk. The Hulk is a guy that they've managed to screw up with every movie. So if you went back to the original format that was most successful with Lou Ferrigno, the other fella, that ran for seasons, bring it back to TV, do it in a serial format, and you can have all that same stuff and just show how crazy angry the Hulk is.
I wanted World Breaker Hulk, and we got Professor Hulk in Endgame, which I was like, oh, okay, it's fine, whatever. But I really wanted World Breaker Hulk because I wanted him to at least get somewhat of a rematch with Thanos.
Yeah.
Because I still maintain, like, everybody says, no, Thanos is just that good of a fighter. It's like, bullshit. The angrier Hulk gets, the stronger Hulk gets. He fucking used the goddamn Power Stone to beat the Hulk's ass. Fight.
Without the gauntlet, it's no contest. Hulk.
Exactly. Hulk fucking. Thanos is just a little bit bigger than the average person, like a little taller. And yeah, you're telling me that this Titan fucking beat this unstoppable rage machine's ass? No, I've argued with people on the internet about this before.
Well,
he had the Power Stone.
I'm gonna say that the Infinity Gauntlet's the game changer for him in that case, for sure, Joe. But without the Gauntlet, he's a Titan. It's not a joke. Like he's badass without the Gauntlet too. It's just he's not beating the Hulk. Not one other Avenger's got a chance, but the Hulk kills him all day.
Because remember in that first Avengers movie when Dr. Banner said, "That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry." Changes real quick and punches that damn thing, and that giant space worm battle thing, and it goes endo like the truck in Dark Knight, and like that thing is bigger and stronger than Thanos, and Hulk stopped it with one punch.
Yeah, but
like that's why I'm having a real problem with this.
They didn't develop Thanos. That's that problem? Quite honestly, instead of any money on Black Widow or Hawkeye, you do a Mad Titan backstory all day. Right? Thanos was so brilliant in the comic book, and he wasn't. It was a descent into the dark side without being a Star Wars ripoff.
Hey guys, can we pause for a little bit? I just
Same old lunch. You need the Dr. Dreadful Lunch Lab. Make moldy bread, bloody snacks.
Got orange juice?
Globs of it. Yeah! The new Dr. Dreadful Lunch Lab. go.
It's the greatest thinking.
Make 'em, take 'em to the factory. Smash 'em, now they can study. A little, and now you're a little out of shape. That's the way you do it when you play the Great Escape.
The Great Escape game. Race through the crazy jam factory without getting sliced, or smashed, or mushed.
Hey, this is fun.
I'm almost done.
Maybe you won't run out too late. That's the way you do it when you play the Great Escape.
And we're back. Thanks, Craig. James had to leave. He is a little under the weather, so we're gonna shorten the show a bit.
You want to play a card game?
Oh, that's what it was, the card game. Thank you.
Yeah. Who wants to play? Who's up?
I'll play.
Who's up? Yep.
Yeah. We can take
All right.
turns.
Left, right, and middle.
You're really thinking this one out, Joe.
I'm gonna go Malcolm in the Middle.
Middle.
Nice. I like that.
Oh man. What kind of pajamas do you wear? Ooh, now we're getting good in the go.
What kind of pit? I usually wear a t-shirt with basketball shorts.
Hey, man after my own heart.
Oh, oh, how sweet.
All right, Mage. Left, right, and middle.
I think I would anger the villagers if I picked anything but left.
What's oh man. Oh man, you're gonna love this. What is the most imaginative insult you can come up with? Ooh, right?
Whoa.
The man with the biggest criminal record out of all of us at a Facebook jam. Man, did you pick a doozy?
That's a good one. That really is.
Of all the ways to bleat that you are a moron, this has to be the absolute dumbest.
It gets me every time. Because he's so
tip
smart
my
and
hat.
people are just like, what? And you're just like, you know what I said. And they're like, yeah, I know what you said. Oh, man.
You know what? I felt bad saying it because it was just to the nether. Like it's like you gotta have somewhere to direct that. Can't just be shooting into space.
Yeah.
And we're back.
And we are back. We are fully back.
No, my light just came back. Thank
I mean,
heavens.
we
I
are
was looking
fully
like I was
back.
hiding in the basement.
Radio Underground.
You want to go again, Joe? Because it is supposed to be 3.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let me take that one out. You got 2 left.
Ooh.
Left or right?
I will go. You know what? I'll go left 2. See what we got.
When was a time that you completely lost it? Oh man,
I can't even imagine such a time exists.
2004. Let's see. It was the 2004 Vans Warped Tour, and I was there with all my friends, all my little, my little punk crew.
Yeah.
And we had just watched NoFX play, and as much as I love NoFX, always have, always will, I gotta say that was quite a lackluster show. Now, I didn't lose it on that aspect. My best friend at the time, or actually my best friend, of all time, he sadly passed away in 2008. and my daughter is named after him. Keith Thomas Hunter, rest in peace. Anyway, the crowd was starting to disperse, but there were still some of us diehards, like, and we were saying, no FX, no FX. Hopefully we get an encore. But like, this is the Warped Tour. It's egalitarian. You get 30 minutes. There you go.
Yep.
And I didn't notice that Keith had caught Eric Melvin's Puma sweatband. And as we're walking away, I was like, dude, that was an awesome show. Like, I was just hyped on the energy from the crowd, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I look back on it like, they could have done better. Slow FX indeed.
Yeah.
But he's like, dude, look what I got. And I was like, what is that? He's like, Eric Melvin threw that in the crowd, and I caught it. I was like, dude, that's awesome. Hang on to that, man. That's like a freaking souvenir. That's like, you know, that's memories and shit. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Here, man, you can have it. And that token gesture from my best friend, like, he just gave me a piece of rock and roll history as far as my little mind was concerned. I take it, and I literally lost it right there. And he came back like, dude, are you okay? I was like, that's the coolest thing anyone's ever done for me. And has and still is one of the coolest things anybody's ever done for me. That's how I lost it, in an emotional way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's my little anecdote about how I lost.
Fuck, do you know how to tell a story?
Yeah,
you have
really.
no idea what I was expecting, and it was not that. You took me for a ride, bud.
Yeah, you did. All right, Mage. That's right.
Oh, fudge. Right.
How many times a day do you check your Facebook?
Oh my heavens. Embarrassingly, way too many. Like, embarrassingly too many times a day.
I hear you.
Like, I don't know, if it weren't Facebook and it were heroin, people would say I had a problem. So it's way too many. Actually, I don't think people would ask when the funeral was if Facebook were heroin, because I go on it way too much.
I'm with you, brother.
It's I'm glad I go back to school, because at school I don't check Facebook at all.
Yeah.
But when I'm not in school, oh my heavens, I'm a horrible example for my kid. Like, I really have to watch it because I don't want him to get that into it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
And Facebook it's a dumpster fire. It's like Twitter, just like
it is.
Yes. Like,
we are so attracted to this like car wreck that is Facebook. We are such rubberneckers to this. Like, we want to see what's happening, even though we don't.
Slow down and look at the carnage.
Yep.
Like, the only saving grace about Facebook, as far as I'm concerned, you guys might agree with me on this, is our friends.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the only reason I'm there.
I think that's a big reason why it's become the problem it has, is because I'm so into hearing about you all and seeing everybody's wins, and just being positive when someone needs it. Right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's become not addictive, because that cheapens it, but you wanna put in what you're taking out.
Yeah, it becomes supportive.
Yeah, and you don't want to just take. You don't want to go there and just be haha funny man. You want to be the guy or a guy, because there's all of us. It's not, no one's better than anyone else at listening or being supportive. We're all fucking fantastic.
For sure.
100%, yeah.
And I think you're right, Joe. I think that's a big part of it, because before that, I mean, Facebook right now is 2 or 3 fantastic support groups and a cesspool.
Yeah.
Before, it was just a cesspool.
Yeah.
And I think now it's just a bad smell. Right? Because it gets buried in all your guys' day-to-day stuff. I get to see about your kids now, and anything that you do buries local news on my Facebook feed, because it's what I interact with. Like, you can see that you can influence your algorithm, so that you're not seeing stuff that makes you react negatively.
Yep.
Yes.
If you stick to your groups, you won't even see stuff from your timeline or like pages you follow, you know.
Yeah, and who's to say you can't go and start unfollowing some things? It's not
For sure.
that doesn't count for anything. You can still watch it or you can still be into it. You just don't have to be in a Facebook community for it because some people are toxic.
Yeah, I unfollowed a lot of stuff. I went through like a big Facebook, like I ran everything down. You know what I mean? Like I unfollowed so many things that were like toxic to me and creating like you said, a cesspool. And like that's all I saw it as until I met you guys. But to meet you guys, I had to get rid of all the other stuff that was in the way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I still catch myself getting caught up in it. Like,
yeah, me too.
There will be times where you go on a deep dive on your own page, right? And then you're getting to those personalized features and you'll react. You're like, oh my goodness, I forgot this was even a thing, or I forgot this person even thought like that. Like it had been so quiet for so long.
Yeah.
But you're reacting to it like it's just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, the occasional shitty negative thing will pop up in my feed and I just scroll right past it because it's all like because I've surrounded myself with like love and positivity with my staying in touch with my friends, you know, my podcasting crew and you know, bands I like and you know, TV shows I want to watch and you know, comic books news I want to keep up with. And just, you know, stuff in general like that isn't a toxic cesspool. Like you guys are absolutely right. It is a fucking cesspool. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
But
sure.
you know, if it's a what is it? A junkyard with a few roses growing up here and there.
Or desert with oasis. Like it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
I really don't like the social media, but I do like what it's like this part of it. And what stinks is they've relied totally on AI and computers to manage it.
Yeah.
And it removes the human element, one, as a defense. Like it prevents you from defending anybody who's being attacked.
Yeah.
And two, it prevents you from providing context. Like people I call myself some pretty horrible names in jest, and I say some pretty not bad things, but I'm self-effacing. It's funny to me, and I think I make people laugh. Some people laugh with it, so that's what I do it for. But that's an entirely different thing.
Yeah, and Facebook will catch you on the simplest of things. Like it's not even like you're saying bad things, to be honest. Like it's just people use them in bad ways and you get stuck with the burden of, well, why did I, you know what I mean? Like, but you realize, hey, because people are actually doing this and taking this seriously. You're joking around, but people are really acting like dummies out there. Like, look at all this stuff after the game, like after the soccer games and that.
Yeah, it got nuts.
Yeah.
I'm not judging because this country is pretty horrible with their hockey.
Just saying, yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Montreal didn't start on fire this year, but I think with restrictions, it might have saved the city.
Yeah. All right, so Joe, you're up. Last one.
All right.
Oh, we got criminal intent here. Have you ever stolen anything from a store?
Yes. When I was 10 or 11, I was in the magazine rack at my local grocery store. They used to have one of these things. Kids, magazines are pieces of paper with pictures and words in them that we used to read for entertainment and or news or information.
And that's how you find out about all your favorite bands.
If you're interested in that, let me tell you about something called a VCR. But anyway, I was a poor kid, so I couldn't afford to buy this one magazine I liked, which was Cracked Magazine, which is now, by the way, an awesome YouTube channel. Fucking hilarious. For anybody who's looking for a laugh, check out cracked.com or Cracked on YouTube, whatever. This was back when Pogs were a thing, and they had this like it was polybag. The issue was, and it had 6 cracked flogs. They called them. They were the same size as Pogs. You could put them in your collection, but they had like Sylvester P. Smith, the mascot of Cracked Magazine. It was just a rip off of Alfred E. Newman, but he's yeah. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. And just like
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
And like Spies and Saboteurs, whatever.
Yep.
I couldn't. I was a poor kid, so I wanted the Pogs. So I tore the bag open a little bit, pulled the cardboard thing out, pocketed it, and walked the fuck out of the grocery store. And the management never knew I did anything. But for whatever reason, I think one of my friends saw me do this and ratted me out to his mom, and I got like a talking to by her, but I had no idea what the fuck she was talking about, because she was being very vague with it. And then it was later on down the line, my friend told me, like, yeah, that was me. I was like, you fucking asshole. But you know that, yes, yes. Yeah. There's my anecdote.
All day, totally worth it.
Yep, I hear you. All right, Mage, you get another good one. What set of things could you buy at the grocery store or any store that would make the cashier uncomfortable?
What could I buy?
Yeah, anything.
Well, it's a combination. It'd have to be a really far out combination of things.
Yeah.
Like a toilet plunger, Vaseline, an extension cord, and some bags.
What the fuck are you doing?
No, it was making you uncomfortable, cashier. Don't bring it up.
See, it works.
That's cool. I love it.
All right, so Mage, you want to give us a rundown before we get on out of here, and then we'll be back tomorrow, right?
We're back tomorrow. We're talking WWF with our old pal Liam. I said that like everyone knows who he is, and they don't. So he will be our newest. He'll be a new guest and friend for us tomorrow, coming out of UK. And we're gonna jam old time wrestling and some 90s wrestling, Attitude Era, all the way up to today. Him and James are, doing banjos of wrestling knowledge and trivia, so it should be an interesting listen. And next week we get the tasty riffs and sweet pop culture references of No Pants Maurice. And I'm excited about that because they are in our wheelhouse for both punk rock and all things geek and nerd. I don't think there is a thing we could throw at them that they aren't into, but we're going to try. It'll be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, you were saying, and I definitely agree. I think all things are considered in this one. Like, we could go anywhere with this one, so you never know. So you'll want to stay tuned.
I think this is going to be a good one, fellas. Just like with 13.
Yep.
And these guys are they're out of Florida, I believe. And they are just hilarious on social media, so I expect that we're going to have some sore faces for sure next Monday. And then we'll probably get out of here to check on our brother James.
Yep.
And until tomorrow, it's another Geek Den team.
All right. See you. We're out.
Oh. Oh.
Got milk?
Oh, wouldn't it be nice to chug Wouldn't it be nice to chug one day?
New Tropicana Chuggers, 100% pure refreshment. All natural orange or apple or grapefruit juice. Chug one down.
Cause here in the Tropicana Chuggers, there's a split of chug. chugger, long road, chugger, chugger. I really like to chug one down with you.
Hey, Craig! Hey, man, it's me, it's your old buddy Beefcake from Gwar! Yeah! Hey, man, listen, your friends reached out to me, and they tell me that, you've got a blog called, Dead Minted, and that you've also got a web show called, Punk Rock Geek Den. Those both sound pretty cool. Anyway, they just wanted me to give you a little pep talk, because sometimes life is a struggle. Yeah, but, you're human. And so life is a struggle because you have not attained enlightenment and glory of the slaughter of other humans and other races and stuff. So, I know you got to deal with the trivialities of human life. And, it's okay though, man, everything is just an obstacle to overcome and crush beneath your mighty boot, right? They say you're an awesome dad and husband and an awesome friend, and your friends love you, dude. So, you know what? You got it pretty fucking good if you ask me. Okay? So, I hope everything's going great. Wish you all the best. And Gwar will be by soon to kill you. Okay. All right, man. Cheers.